Is anyone out there? Hello?
Is anyone listening today?
Hello?
This is the bat signal to all my Jewish people.
Turns out we have a big Jewish listener base.
Yes.
We checked our numbers from, it was last Monday?
Last Monday to Friday.
And there was this weird dip.
And we hadn't seen dip in months.
And we're
Maybe
like,
the whole year.
That was a hot week. Was it Sterling?
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah.
We questioned our own competency.
We really did. And we thought about it for a while. We realized it was because it was a Jewish holiday. And it's obviously disrupting everyone's gym and work and driving to work schedules.
Yep.
Anytime there's a holiday, we see a super big dip.
Yep.
But man, we have that big of a Jewish audience, or people that work at, like agencies and stuff like that where they have time off.
I mean, there's a lot of powerful Jewish people that are in all industries.
Hello.
So today
basically,
is...
if you have an errand to run that's far away, get on the freeway. Go far.
So
no one's gonna be on the road.
Yeah, just like, aren't you guys supposed to just be chilling today anyway?
You're toning. You're doing
but you don't
prayers
have
all
any
day.
energy. You have no nourishment. So listen to a
Taylor,
pod.
You're going to be a toning all day, right?
Taylor,
what are you doing, Taylor?
Taylor's a toning all day.
Netflixing, chilling all day.
Netflix and a toning.
I feel like
saving
electricity
energy
should be banned too.
So
just food.
I'm sure in the olden days there was.
Well, we don't want that.
Yeah,
right.
So for those that don't know, today is Yom Kippur, which is a day of atonement for the Jewish people, and you probably take the day off work. The biggest thing is you are fasting from sundown Tuesday evening, which is yesterday, to sundown Wednesday morning.
That seems rough.
And no water, no coffee, no...
You can't brush your teeth. You can't do anything.
That is rough. You know what you can do? Listen to a damn podcast.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen at Dodger Stadium? We have a game-clinching playoff game.
And guess who likes
fans of the Dodgers?
The biggest fans of Dodgers are Jewish people.
As long as the players are well-nourished
No, but are they going to attend?
hydrated, who
Concessions lines be empty.
cares?
It's
We should go.
5:30 start.
I might go to the game just to have a concession.
Although-
Grab a beer, some food.
Does it start at sundown or no?
It starts at 5:30. I think they
no,
got to
that's
wait
good.
an hour.
They're going to be just
Man, that
crawling.
dugout club is going to
Dugout
be
club?
empty.
If there are lines, if anyone goes to the Dodger game tomorrow, I'm not. I don't know if you are.
No.
But if there is a line at the dugout club, in the buffet or the bar,
I want pictures.
I want pictures because that means they should be listening to our goddamn podcast if they're eating and drinking.
Well, I guess sundown by 6:30.
What would you say? Dugout club's 40% Jewish?
More. Those seats are expensive.
Might be 75. It might be 75. 75.
So that 6:30, that 6:30 p.m. buffet is going to be slammed alcohol.
Get your food before 6:30.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well listen, if you're listening to this right now, tell a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just check in on if you have any Jewish buddies.
Send this podcast to your closest Jewish friend.
Yeah, hit them up and just say, hey, reminder, let's focus on what's important during this Day of Atonement.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Support those that have atoned.
Yeah, we're atoned.
Yeah.
We're good. Okay. You guys ready to get into some news?
Yes.
I have one big question. What's going on with all of this NBA, China hoopla? So the Rockets owner president posted support of Hong Kong. NBA said, whoa. We make way too much money in China for that. They publicly posted in support of China, which is insane. And then we caught it right at the end. I think Anand breaking news us in the middle of the episode. And since then, it's just went wild. So what's the update?
First of all, I want to make it clear to my Chinese people, I stand with you guys.
Oh, gosh, you're a dictator.
I want to be really big in China. And I don't really care that much about the NBA.
I'm with Hong Kong.
Hong Kong's been wiped off the earth.
You're a dictator.
Stand with China.
You are a dictator. Okay, listen,
Yeah.
Hong Kong or anyone that believes in what they believe in, your guy over here on the solo chair is the one for you.
So we talked about it very briefly because it was happening live while we were recording on Sunday night for Monday's episode. And it's turned into a massive geopolitical event based off a tweet of the general manager of the Houston Rockets. And the NBA, there's so many nuances here, right? So the NBA is actually in China right now. So the Lakers, LeBron and the Lakers are playing the Brooklyn Nets on Thursday or Friday, and ESPN flew out to do coverage.
Wait, they're playing them in China?
Yeah,
it
because
was
part of the
exhibition game.
preseason.
Oh,
This was all
gosh.
planned.
How awkward is that flight in?
No, so it gets even crazier. So since the NBA put out their first statement, one in English, one in Mandarin. Okay. The one in Mandarin was much harsher than the one in English. Yeah. The one in English was just like, oh yeah, we're sorry. And the one in Mandarin was like, fuck the Houston Rockets, basically.
Yeah.
And since then, Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, had to do a press conference in Tokyo because the NBA is in Tokyo. They're doing the whole Asia tour. The commissioner came out Tuesday morning saying the NBA stands behind their employees and personnel and players, that they can say whatever they want. We're not going to come down on them. And we understand there could be differences in political beliefs, but we're not going to limit the freedom of speech in the NBA.
Yeah. And guess what Chinese people said?
And guess what China did?
Yeah.
Since that press conference, they have now banned the airing of the game of the Lakers
NBA
and
games.
Nets. Well, no, specifically this LeBron showcase in China is now banned in China. So these guys are playing to an audience of 0.
And people can't even go?
No, I think you can go. It's not being
But why
aired
would they
on
let people
CCTV.
go?
They may not.
Why don't they just play alone?
It's fluid right now because by the time this episode airs, the NBA might just cancel the games because it's not being aired in China. And here's the biggest story in all of this is the NBA has been the woke movement.
Yeah.
Coaches, general managers, and they've been so outspoken against everything Trump, reporters, about everything NFL, Kaepernick. Like, we would never let that happen in this league.
Yeah.
This is the biggest jam up because everyone's been quiet.
So here's the first
now
problem.
they're screwed.
Daryl Morey fucked it up for everyone. He's an asshole.
Who's that?
The general manager of the Rockets.
Just keep your mouth shut.
I mean, he absolutely fucked it up
He
for everyone.
screwed up. Everyone was
He
making
did.
money, getting fat, and
But it was just
he's
a matter
not
of
even
time.
Chinese. Why do you care?
It was just a matter of time.
Shut
though.
up.
Yeah.
Daryl Morey's just like, you can blame it on him. It's gonna.
I will.
I'm 100%.
I
If
will.
I'm the Houston
He's an
Rockets, I'm
idiot.
calling this punk in. I'm like, you know what? You keep your political shit to yourself. Shut up and manage.
Shut up and James Harden.
Yes.
Like, win a title. Win a title.
That's so stupid. Because then you're going to jam up. You're going to.
Well, they jammed
NBA
up-
has to say something.
It's so
You know
nuanced.
who's-
But here's I think the bigger point from me is that if you're gonna go woke, you gotta stay like this is the worst part of woke. Like everyone who was woke this whole time, the NBA moved the All-Star game from North Carolina because of a transgender bathroom situation.
Yeah.
And they still sent these guys to China.
It's going to be messy because they're going to interview all of these coaches.
Yeah.
That's all they're going to be asking for so long. What are these guys going to do? Go back to sleep?
You know who should be shitting their pants is Nike.
Oh yeah.
Nike, this is so like Nike's future is in China, not in America. America, they got everybody. Everyone who's buying their shoes, we're going to continue buying, and that's it. China is their next great frontier. They've obviously have this massive business there that's
And
double-digit
the
growth.
NBA's next great frontier.
Yeah, and it's just even bigger for. I think the impact will be even greater for Nike because, so I bet you they were showcasing some Shanghai exclusive shoe for LeBron that you can't get. You don't know that it's.
Dude, there's images right now that any basketball gym with the Rockets, they're painting over it. The Rockets don't exist in China.
I like that.
As of this past week,
It's pretty.
they
dope.
don't exist.
Do the people, the regular people of China are on some fuck Hong Kong shit, or
No.
they're just forced to be?
They're forced to be.
The Twitter's banned in.
So they don't know
in
anything's
China.
going on
They
in
have
Hong
no
Kong.
idea what's going on.
They're like, you
Perfectly
guys
got it.
should go visit America.
So they just
And-
do what they're told.
but
It's
this
like
is-
fuck the Rockets, so they say fuck the Rockets. We got it.
This is the problem with being woke, and which is why none of us are woke.
Yeah.
Because the world
I'm
is
asleep.
so complicated.
I'm dead asleep.
The world is so complicated, it's so nuanced,
Yeah.
right? Sure, there's plenty of bad stuff going around the world, but there's also 1 billion people who love the NBA in China that have no say on what goes on politically in China.
And now they can't watch
Now
the King.
they can't watch for entertainment. And
being woke gets jammed up real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You run into like a this or that.
You gotta
sorta-
be woke in private.
You
when you
gotta
get
be woke
home,
on very particular. I don't know. Just don't be woke.
Because here's the
Just
issue.
don't be
I
woke.
get like is the NBA the one that should solve like freedom of speech in China? Probably not. But as a result, now a billion Chinese people don't get to watch Steph Curry and LeBron James and all these people, and then jobs in China.
I would be so pissed I was Chinese and I was planning this big night. The whole family's getting together to watch the King and stuff. And there's some clown in Houston ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think they tell their people why they're doing this? Like, why is China turning off the game tonight? What do they tell them?
They'll be like, what game?
Great. So it's just full of
Well,
mind.
the owner of the Nets, who
What sport is that?
Never heard of it.
Well, the owner of the
I'm sorry, I
Nets
apologize.
wrote. He's the majority owner now, Joseph Tsai, founder of Alibaba. I think he's current CEO. Wrote a whole essay on Facebook saying that the Hong Kong protests represent a separatist movement from China. Hong Kong is part of China, and we don't stand with that. And wrote this whole essay about history. So that's probably the only information they're getting fed. They're like, look, the NBA agrees with us, right? You have an NBA owner who's actually the founder of Alibaba.
Which is God in China.
Yeah, and he can't go against the government. He'll be in jail.
No, yeah. And he's just, I just bought the Nets. I want to enjoy it.
Got it.
And
This is when, like, Steve Kerr, the most woke NBA guy, was asked yesterday about what do you think about China. He got so jammed up. This guy talks about anti-guns, anti-everything, anti-Trump.
He ain't saying a word about China.
He didn't say a goddamn word about China.
What did he say when they
He
asked
just said,
him?
"Oh, I just need to learn more." Like, what do you need to learn more? You're either woke or you're not.
yeah.
No, you're not woke when the checks started getting messed up.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed in the way he handled it because
What do you want him to go to jail? Not be allowed in the country?
He's in San Francisco. He doesn't have to go to China. He could, if the Warriors get sent to an exhibition game, he doesn't
What
have
if
to
they
go.
jail Steph Curry because of Steve Kerr? They can do that. China has no rules. You know what, Steph? You're going to jail because your dumbass coach opened his mouth.
Yeah.
And now that you just ruined the NBA, Steph Curry's in jail.
Yeah, and the takeaway for me is the world's nuanced and complicated. Be careful if you just start making blanket statements.
I make a lot of blanket statements.
Yeah, we do that on this podcast, actually.
The whole podcast.
Yeah, pretty much what this yeah, pretty much just a blanket statement for 45 minutes every day.
Maybe for the brown-white.
Has
not
Trump
brown-white.
commented?
No.
He doesn't care.
Okay. He's a football guy.
If Trump wants to take advantage of this, all the NBA teams are the ones saying they're not going to the White House, but they all went to China.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah,
argument.
you should be a speechwriter or something.
You should be a MAGA speechwriter.
Yeah, you get over there. Look
You
what
wanna
they did
be
for
woke
Pod Save
now?
America. You know what that would do for this podcast? You guys wanted me to be a MAGA ambassador. Imagine if
Yeah,
he was
MAGA Indian would even be better.
imagine if he was, what's that guy's name from Pod Save?
Favreau?
John Favreau or whatever.
Of
Imagine if you were
MAGA.
the Favreau of MAGA.
No, I would never.
Like
but
an Indian Ben Shapiro.
my
think
my
about it,
point is
yeah.
when it comes to like consumers that have no say in the matter,
Yep.
it's kind of like frustrating.
I get it. I get it. You and your MAGA people are frustrated. What about, this is trickling over into esports somehow. Did you see this article?
Yeah.
Blizzard has banned an esports player who voiced support of Hong Kong.
Similar thing. Blizzard's a huge video game
So what, but was this
manufacturer.
guy like on his Twitch or something? He's like, yeah.
No, he was
go on.
actually protesting
like
in
where?
Hong Kong. He's based in Hong Kong. There's a big gamer in Hong Kong. He posted a picture of protesting. They banned him from the esports competition, withheld $10,000 of money.
Like League of
That's
Legends.
brutal.
If you're a League of Legends star, you should definitely shut your mouth because that is a Chinese company.
You should take the China flag and post your loyalty.
Yeah. I stand with China and we're red all the time.
God, what a jam up. They are.
How
gnarly.
bummed is the king just stuck in China? Man.
We have it so good over here. You
It's
can literally
amazing.
run down the street and say, fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And like, they're like, yeah.
And there you can't even post on Twitter
lose your-
protesting.
No, they have all these bots on Weibo supporting the ban of the NBA in China. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, man. Proud to be an American. Well, at least I know I'm free.
Yeah, and if when I go to China, I don't like the NBA. They ask me, if they
Yeah.
ask me at immigration, do you
Who?
watch sports? No, I hate sports.
I actually hate sports.
I've never watched anything.
Yep.
And
Do you
then-
know who Yao Ming is? Yes, he's a great leader.
I mean, it's great.
What if they ask you right now, have you ever supported LeBron James?
Who?
LeBron's in China right now.
LeBron, he's known as the King.
I thought King is Xi Jinping.
Welcome to China.
And then hold on, there's one other thing I want to bring up that I just learned today. I didn't even know. Ben Thompson, he's a big tech blogger, sends a daily newsletter, and I didn't know TikTok for all users is actually censored by the Chinese government. So if you go on TikTok today, right now, and you search in Mandarin the Houston Rockets do not exist.
I love that.
Man.
That shit's amazing.
Dictator land is something different.
I mean, TikTok, you're sitting there on TikTok trying to say free speech. That is a Chinese company for those people that don't know.
Yeah, TikTok is owned by ByteDance, one of the biggest private Chinese companies in China.
They're watching all these
What do you think would
Americans
happen
dance
if I
like
made-
idiots. You dance while we take your privacy, you motherfuckers.
Oh my God. I wonder what happened if you did like a lot of Houston Rockets like support posts.
So one kid posted in a province in China, him in a James Harden jersey, but the kid also had the Chinese flag with the lighter say, "Come and get me," and they got him.
Oh my
He's in
God.
jail.
I told you I stand with China. I'm not
You know
messing
what?
around.
I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry if you're listening. I apologize.
Don't let me disappear by the end of this podcast.
God,
Dee
man, I can't
and I
even
did not say
hide.
anything anti-China.
I love China. It's a great place, great people. I love Yao Ming.
Same. Yep.
Same for us over here. Just to clarify.
Pete's face turned red.
I just want to be very clear on air where I stand with this.
God, those guys in Hong Kong are fucked.
Yeah, Hong Kong's toast.
Okay, moving on. Let's get into some tech business news.
Yeah.
Good news for Toys R Us. Looks like they have debuted a brand spanking new website.
Yeah.
So you thought it was over? I know we've all been seeing those pictures of the closed down skeletons of old Toys R Us stores where our childhood dreams used to live. But it's back. New
Yeah.
website.
And it's actually the worst website I've ever seen. And the worst experience on top of it. It is a horrendous website
Oh my
with a
gosh.
bunch of links saying, oh, we have this new blah, blah, blah. I click on it and it says $49. Great. The site itself looks horrendous. It is a redirect to Target's website. So it's literally just like affiliate links. Why not just redirect it all to Target? It is the laziest, pathetic excuse for an e-commerce website in this day and age. If this was 2001, I'd be like, okay, I get it. You guys don't have technology. This is a world-renowned brand. To launch it like this is a joke.
What's the deal? There's no relationship with Target and Toys R Us,
Well, no,
right?
maybe it's just an affiliate deal. I bet you they're just getting like 15% of all sales, and they're just redirecting all the traffic to Target, and they're just curating the section. Like,
Toys R Us says there's no stores, right?
no,
So it's only the shit website.
the shit website.
So Toys R Us is now like a social media influencer doing affiliate deals.
Yes,
Great.
and doing it poorly.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm on it right now.
It is
I
so
can't-
bad.
I was so excited.
They
I
should
thought
have
it
just
was
given Ryan
everything.
everything
All
and
of
say,
it.
hey,
They should give. Yeah, they should
or
give.
Ryan doesn't need Toys R Us. Ryan should just be the affiliate.
Yeah,
for
I'm sure
he
everything
is.
else,
He
right?
pretty-
Yeah.
Ryan probably makes more money than that shit website.
Ryan is Toys R Us.
Yeah.
What do you want
Yeah.
to say, Taylor?
I'm looking at the Toys R Us website. All their top trending products have 0 reviews. And we all know if you're an e-commerce site and you have 0 reviews on all your top products, there's no one buying anything on the site.
Exactly.
So the
At
site
least
is trash.
fake it. At least fake it.
Like, at least put 5 reviews on your top products to fake it.
Why would you?
Courtesy of the Taylor Parker Agency.
Yeah. And if you're looking for that service,
We'll get you 10 reviews on every. For $300, we'll give you 100 reviews.
what a bummer. I really, when that story came up, I was like, all right, well, we're good. Toys R Us is back. The dream
Clowns.
is alive. Okay. How about this one, man? I cannot wait to hear what this one is about. Apparently, millennials and Gen Zers are quitting their jobs because they're having mental health issues. So we talked about burnout on Monday's episode. Talked about YouTubers, and we're like, oh, they don't know what it's like to have a real job. They've never had to. It turns out maybe normal people are acting the same way.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone's burnt out, and no one has the whatever you want to call it, the toughness.
The cojones.
I mean, to work a job. I'm confused. Maybe am I being harsh?
I'm going to be way harsher.
Okay. I always count on that.
Half of millennials between 23 and 38-year-olds that were surveyed have quit a job because of mental health reasons. 75% of Gen Zers have quit a job due to mental health reasons.
75%, and Gen Z is like how
18
they're
to 22 is
24?
how they're defining it.
Yeah.
It's technically
Guess-
95, I think. I think it's technically 24, but whatever.
So for the purpose of this survey.
Sure, but 22, that's even worse. At 22, you've quit a job because of mental health?
Yes, and then check this out. Baby boomers. Guess what percentage they have quit a job because of mental health?
I mean, 4%.
10%. This is a scary statistic. So the question then becomes, is it, there's clearly a shift where if you are unhappy, you're supposed to make a change. So the thought is, if you're unhappy, you should make a change. So then I started looking at suicide rates over the last 10 years.
Those are bad.
So those have increased.
Yep.
So the numbers, the concept of I'm unhappy, I need to make a change are actually not I mean, just based on suicide rates, I'm not saying that's the only metric, but you're leaving this job for whatever reason because you're mentally unstable, but your life isn't actually improving. This statistic baffles me because what is going on in the workplace that
I'll tell you the theory. The theory is all the way down to these kids were raised by parents in the William Shatner, America's Most Wanted days.
Okay.
Those parents were scared to death to let their kids go play and learn and whatever. Those kids are now 20 years old. They have been on their phones and in their rooms playing video games. They haven't been out drinking, having sex, fist fighting, doing all the shit you used to do. And so now when they go out into the real world, they feel like they are owed the same level of safety that their parents gave them.
Wait, that's a real theory?
1 trillion %.
That's a
William
joke.
Shatner?
No, that because of America,
Trek?
because
He's the NRA guy too, right? He's
Well,
like one
sure,
of the
but don't
biggest-
get lost in William fucking Shatner. Because of all these shows of America's Most Wanted and stories of kids getting kidnapped, all of those shows blew up on television when these people were new parents.
So they were
and so
scared.
they overprotected their kids. There's a generation of overprotected kids who never even wanted to go ride their bikes down the street because they were at home. They had games. So those two things converged, and parents didn't want you to go ride your bike and go be crazy, and they didn't want to do it anyway. So now they're going into colleges and going into the workplace, and anything that's a trigger warning or someone yelling at them or whatever, they're not used to that, and they want to be treated with that same. I mean, colleges have safe spaces where you can go color in coloring books.
Yeah.
If there's a speaker you don't like, there's like crazy. It's really
Taylor,
weird.
go to the mic. I have a question for you.
And just to continue the conversation before Taylor jumps in, so you're telling me it's the convergence of scared parents and social media combined,
Correct. It's not
right?
just
Because
social
I
media.
get the social media aspect. I'd be depressed if I was a teenager and I was on social media.
Yeah. No, it's also the element of it is when they really dig deep into it. The other element that no one really talks about that much is scared parents, and crime rates have actually dropped significantly since whenever that was. Let's say 1990, but the parents parented as if everyone was getting kidnapped. And then the kids had iPads and phones and games, and so they don't want to go drink and go do any of that stuff anyway. So now there's this thing where kids at 20 years old, 22 years old have been too coddled, and they cannot deal with the realities, the little
it's
things.
the trophy. Every kid gets a trophy syndrome.
Yeah, and but they can't deal with teasing. They can't deal with a boss saying, "You fucked up. What are you doing?"
So
They
D's
can't-
their worst nightmare.
Oh my
So
god.
let me ask you a question, Taylor. How old are you?
I'm 26, and yes, D is my worst nightmare. If that was your question.
Taylor's actually about to quit the newsletter.
I'm not
'cause of
asking
mental
this to Pete or Danny because Taylor grew up in the heart of LA, which I would say, for the most part, parents are fairly progressive. Are you, in your mind, a pussy?
I can't wait to see where this is going.
Pete's in Wisconsin.
Where's this
Yeah,
going? I can't wait to see where we're going.
I definitely don't think I'm a pussy, but I've been called a pussy a few times before.
Why? Why do you want to know?
No, because my point is like Taylor to me is the prototypical person in this survey that it's 26 years old, right in the meat of it, a job or two in entrepreneur, whatever. But like I don't expect Pete to be a pussy
Yep.
because of where he grew up. He grew up with 6 brothers, a very different background.
Saying you expect me to be a pussy?
He's like crying. Taylor's like crying.
Taylor's gonna quit after this because of mental health issues.
But when I think of like, what
If
is
Taylor doesn't quit, this survey's wrong.
because my prototypical person, I was like, who could I kind of confirm is a pussy? And I'd be like, oh, Taylor grew up in LA, went to Beverly Hills High School. Like he's been probably coddled by his parents. You know,
But this is what you're not taking into consideration. Number one, LA is a big city. It's a huge city.
I know, but I'm talking about people because like
You're
what
also
type
choosing
of,
a guy who's started like 5 companies.
I know, but like the mindset comes from these overprotective,
Okay,
overbearing
so I think the
parents,
better question,
which are more in LA.
I think the better question to Taylor, because he's so much closer to the demographic than we are. Tell us about your peers.
Pussies.
Name 2.
No, but do you actually believe that?
Well, a lot of people, I think, just they want the easy route, and they want to blame other people. They don't want to put in the work with everything, and we're scared of everything. And it's like everyone has mental health issues now because like everyone's on their phone, Instagram 6 hours a day. Like,
Are you? What's your mental health status?
I'm good now, like for the first time in a while.
And what was wrong with you? Just curious. I'm not even being joking. What was wrong with you?
Personally, I got way too caught up in the Gary Vee hustle grind mindset of like you can't have fun, you can't enjoy your 20s, you got to work, you can't have friends, you can't have a girlfriend, you can't do anything fun, and like that really messed me up like mentally because I was like, my 20s, I shouldn't have any fun. I should never enjoy it, and like I want to grind, I want to hustle, and that just like made me so depressed.
Yeah, you got to go to Rufus. And
Yeah.
Yeah, then I went to Rufus, and we're all good now.
But that's why I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you're not. It's super bubbly. Like you think about like the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay, so
you're talking about
now,
a hustler. Like Taylor is a fucking hustler.
all right, let's give the mic to Pete.
Give it to a non-hustler.
Wisconsin.
Give it to Pete.
Pete
Give us your
wasn't
peers in
allowed.
Wisconsin.
Pete's ass was getting beat by his brothers. He's not getting fucking.
I ain't no pussy boy. You're looking at me like maybe you are.
I see the way
What about
he
your
eats. He
peers?
doesn't eat like a
Do your
pussy.
friends back home in Wisconsin talk about mental health?
No.
No, look at your ass beat.
You just gotta understand, like those
Pretty
people
much.
also. Those people aren't moving from Wisconsin to LA alone. Like this is a bad sample room. It's the rest of the country where it doesn't even matter income. It doesn't matter any of that. But you've been so coddled that you wouldn't move to LA. That's way too scary. You're quitting your job at your local Starbucks because your boss was mean to you and it's making you depressed and you have mental health issues. Or you're going to color in coloring books at your college because the speaker is scary and says traumatic statements. It's like it's a totally different world that we're not connected to.
Okay.
But
Maybe.
my point is, I don't think it's fun to sit here and say, "Oh, they need to grow some balls. They're going to get their asses kicked." I think the bigger concern is, what if that's just how adults are in 10 years? That to me, you get socialism out of that. If the majority of adults, 75% of them, just are not built to deal with real life, I think you get a weird. You think about voting patterns. Think about shopping patterns. Like think about. I don't know. What does that turn into?
Yeah. It's interesting. So I obviously have a child that's is like in a preschool situation last year and this year. And when the teacher speaks, one of the things that our mommy group that like my wife's gone to, that I've attended a bunch of sessions with, is they want the children to resolve the conflict on their own.
Yeah.
Which is really, really interesting. So like when we're amongst those kids, if the kids to fight, they pull something, push, whatever, we don't get involved. And the moment we get to the park where it's like, oh no, what could happen? Because we don't know how other parents are parenting and we can't assume they believe in the same thing. It's really interesting. Dom will take a truck from some kid. And if it was in our little group of friends, we wouldn't have said anything. They'd resolve it. Maybe the kid grabs it back from him, whatever.
Yeah.
At the park, it's such an interesting dynamic. Like we have to be like, oh no, Dominic, you know, this is her truck. You have to give that back to her, whatever. And it's interesting how you parent because we're going through that process right now, and we want him to have obstacles and go through. Like life isn't easy. There's no point in making everything happen for him. But I don't know. I still find this whole thing very surprising.
What part?
The fact that like a 23-year-old is leaving their job because there's some stress level. Like, no offense, unless you're like in banking or something crazy like that.
It's not even. You're not even close.
so-
You're not even close. I think.
yeah.
I think this is where we're so disconnected from young people. Like, I think that young people in the rest of the country are very different than what we're used to.
Yeah, so I did investment banking right out of college. My first week as an intern, so this is 2004, I was 20 years old, 20 years old, and I walk in with whatever shitty dress shirt and shitty dress shoes I have, and I got berated
Yeah.
for my dress. They were like, this is unacceptable. You need to go to Brooks Brothers, get dress shirts with collar stays. I didn't even know what any of this meant.
Yeah.
This is the first time I ever like dressed up.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like sad. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I need to like get in line.
But I think that the fundamental like culture is changing, and now what you do in that case is you go home, you quit, and you say, "This is ridiculous. I'm being bullied.
That's so crazy.
I need to go somewhere that looks out for me. You can't treat people that way. I'm being bullied." And your parents would say,
I didn't even tell my parents because I was embarrassed that I was getting yelled at. I was like,
Of course, but I think that a lot of
what?
parents are saying, "Oh, I understand. That's so mean. I'll contact them and see why they're like." I think it's.
If I ever did some shit like that,
I know, but that's what everyone says.
So like,
That's like us.
I give you a hard time at work. It's
Yeah.
not an easy ride. But like, do you ever call your mom and say, "D said this to me"?
no, it's widely entertaining
never
to me.
admit it.
But no, and I being honest, like that's the shit I love. I'd rather have a back and forth. Where there's so many kids I know, and especially in Wisconsin at the university when we had coasties coming in, you could easily tell the difference.
What's a coastie?
East and West
Okay.
Coast kids from you got your kids from Boston coming in, then you have your LA kids coming in. You can easily tell like they stick out like a sore thumb in a room because you Wisconsin kids are completely different from them, but they just stick out the way that they act. They're just so bougie and this kind of mentality where they would quit that day, where Wisconsin kids just doesn't give a fuck.
It's so
and,
cold.
and then when I
Yeah.
look back on
It's
my
like you
own
just don't have
personal
time to
experience, I know
complain.
we're a little off topic, but
fine.
I had an Indian minority boss that was just on me, and we're really close friends now.
Yeah.
But I feel like he did that because he's like, you're coming into this white world,
Yeah.
you're already playing from behind. You better not let the ancillary stuff
Yeah.
already.
Your ugly ass clothes.
Yeah, I'm just, my biggest question that I'm curious about is, what does this lead to when these are the adults? You know what I mean?
I think they grow out of it. Taylor seems like he grew out of it, or maybe he's still a
I don't
pussy.
think Taylor was.
I'm still kind of a pussy.
I don't think Taylor was like a good example.
I think he's a great
I
example.
think he's a good example too, because all his peers are the ones that have the luxury to be entrepreneurs and not actually have to work.
But it's the Taylor that quit. Okay, let me give you an example. You said, "Hey, we need someone to do the newsletter." Taylor does fine financially. He came in, did it. This is all extra work because he likes the pod. He believes in us.
Yeah.
Whatever. Those are the characteristics of someone with perseverance
I'm
and
talking about his
ambition.
peers.
Yeah, I'm saying it's all the Taylors that never made it, that are still like their parents are still paying their cell phone bills right now. Those are the ones that
Right.
we would really need.
Yeah,
to
I mean, those are all my friends, and they all quit jobs every 9 months.
Yeah, you used to live at the Palazzo. The Palazzo is, if there's anyone sub 25, there's probably a greater than 70% chance their parents are paying for their rent.
All my friends, their parents still pay their rent and still like subsidize them. Like, you guys are 26, like grow up.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Write us in.
Yeah.
Send us a DM. Let us know what's going on in your hometown. Okay, next up. Let's talk about Pop Sugar, the content media sort of platform, has just been acquired by a company called Group 9. So it looks like, I don't know. We kind of found out this Vice deal, Refinery 29 deal was a little bit of a sham.
Yep.
Oh, how about this one? Is this the real deal?
It's a sham.
A sham?
Yeah.
So we're all shamming.
So all stock transaction values Pop Sugar at more than $300 million. Group 9 recently raised $50 million. They own Thrillist, Now This, The Dodo, and Seeker. I don't use any of those companies. Not familiar with I know Thrillist from back in the day. We used to do ads there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
My thesis is, like a lot of these companies, media was completely overvalued. And now they're trying to figure out homes for these businesses. So Pop Sugar had raised a bunch of money. And here's the thing. When Group 9 has their made-up valuation.
Yep.
then they buy a company that has their made up valuation.
Was this another stock thing?
All stock.
Just make it up.
God.
If you're all stock, you don't have there's no impetus to actually assign a real valuation, because the only time valuations matter is when someone's exchanging dollars.
Money.
It's a shame that there's no policing of that.
Yeah, but what does it matter? Like,
Because
if people are still getting fooled by this, like, that's your fault.
Yeah.
But you don't think your average, I mean, once again, like, think
Yeah.
of who, your knowledge in this space. Your average person that, let's just say this acquisition happens and then Group 9 goes public on the heels of this thing. It's like you are getting tricked.
I
And
don't
you
think.
can't know the
Yeah, you're
difference.
right. And I mean, digital media content companies have gone through the same thing that all the direct-to-consumer companies are going to go through and are going through currently. Is if you want to be a tech company, a true through and through tech company like Facebook, Google, and all the giants that actually are incredible companies, you need 90% gross margins.
Yeah.
You're not starting there. You're not a tech company.
Yeah.
That is a difference.
And by the way,
Yeah.
You know, every time we spend more money on Facebook, it costs them zero. That's just dropping their dollar.
just
at the
air.
bottom line.
They're selling air.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
That's
think
a true tech company, because you leverage your platform so that incremental revenue just literally drops to the bottom
I get it.
line.
It's just messy.
That's software.
It seems like
Software
it seems
works like that.
fraudulent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
it's just everything got out of hand. And now it's all gonna correct. All these things are, like this, like fake media valuation is the beginning of another problem. Postmates delaying their IPO, another issue. Peloton, I'll give you an example. Peloton, which is another topic we have here, is suing Echelon, which is a fitness maker, because they are pissed that they are doing a bike with subscription content for lessons.
Do you think they
Classes.
own that copyright? Can you?
Here's the thing. That is so like that's not how the world works.
Yeah.
They are assuming their bike is special and their content is special. The delivery of that is for everyone else to.
But like, you can't trademark men's clothing in a subscription box.
No.
So can they?
That's what I'm saying. They're now trying to realize, they're like, oh shit, I'm shocked it took this long. But Echelon launched one. Home and Fitness launched the same version at $15 a month. There's no, unless Peloton is giving you an experience in their class that is a very different.
Yeah.
There's no competitive advantage. And that's across a lot of these businesses, because what's happened is none of these people built real brands, even on the media side. Like, most of these media companies were driving traffic early days because Facebook clicks were so cheap for publishers to drive traffic, and they were arbing it by selling ads against the cheap traffic they were driving. That is how the publishing business on the internet was built. And now that is gone. Like, the moment Facebook changed their social graph, most publishers went to shit. They were over. They're finished.
I also would argue that it kind of went from like magazines to like blogs, and
Yeah.
now blogs are already dead.
yeah.
And
So this is a lot of like the, you know what I mean? Like, no one who's going to.
I actually blame the investors as much as the companies, because the investors got confused that you just package media in a different way, you get a tech multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is
that's what
pretty
they're
much
doing.
what's happened in direct-to-consumer.
That's just what they do,
Direct-to-consumer
right?
is like, hey, we're no different than we were selling to Macy's. We just sell online at the same margin. Most of these direct-to-consumer businesses have shitty margins.
Yeah.
As if they're wholesale businesses, but they're getting tech multiples.
Yeah, and they don't have it. Yeah, I mean, nothing is making sense. The market was down, heavily on Tuesday. You just see it. Like, the companies that look like they got kind of smelled out are happening. And like, it's going to be really, really ugly.
Yeah, it's kind of, man.
You
I'll tell
think
what's
mental
gonna-
health is bad now? Wait in 18 months.
When no one
gosh.
has jobs.
I'm triggered. Yeah, you can't even quit your job because you can't get
You
one.
can't get another one. I would not be claiming mental health right now. Keep your job if you have one.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, guess what? What's going to thrive in that market? Group chat.
Yes.
Podcast. Free content.
Ah, we are just going to
Run
crush
that!
it. Gosh, run the fucking head. Does anyone got money anymore? Okay. I want to also talk about this company, Rhino.
Yeah.
That it seems like a lot of people are really... Another thing that I think we've talked about this is just going to get completely changed is banking and all of these sort of made up terms and overdraft charges and all this stuff. This company, Rhino, is now trying to eliminate security deposits
Yes.
on like apartments and stuff like that. What's this?
Man, I love this idea. I hope they don't get caught up and swept up in nonsense and raising money and trying to be bigger than what they should be. But they have come up with a concept where, so today they're claiming roughly $45 billion is locked up in rental deposits that landlords put in escrow accounts, aren't earning interest, and causing renters havoc, right? Like if you have to put first and last and in some places 3 months deposit, most people can't afford to move out. In fact, my Uber driver the other day, she's like, I have to take this call. And she was arguing with a potential landlord because the landlord wanted 3 months deposit because of her credit. She's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
This company is saying, what are you really trying to protect? You're trying to protect damage to the place, them skipping out, whatever. So they've built pretty much like an insurance product where they're charging a few dollars a month to protect the landlord from any issue. This is such a disruptive product, in my opinion.
Big time.
And I went on the website. I actually even like just filled it out just to see what the flow is like. I picked a random address. They weren't available as a part of the service yet. It's predominantly New York City, but it is such a challenge for renters today because of deposits.
Yeah.
If that could change the housing market because it gives people the freedom to rent in places where maybe they can't afford to live today because people want 3 months of deposits in some of these places.
Nobody's got jobs.
Yeah. And
You know
everyone's
what I mean?
quitting.
You never know. You might have to quit your job because you're feeling a little
Rents are
unstable.
causing more mental anguish than work.
Causes us mental anguish. I'm mentally unstable.
You should quit your place and live.
I should quit group chat and
Yeah.
just work on my mental health. I'm not joking.
Taylor,
I'm joking. Taylor's coming
come on
there.
in, man.
Highly recommend.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
No, but I mean, just a larger point. I think the disruption in the way we rent in metropolitan cities is just so. I mean, it's just necessary. Like, why are we signing 12-month leases? Like, why is that's so arbitrary? Why are you putting first month and last month deposit? Like, why is it, like, this all needs to be disrupted? When you move into a city, you pay for the months you want to be there and you leave.
yeah.
Why do landlords and real estate developers have this monopoly over consumers?
Yeah.
I think that's going to change.
Yep.
I think there's going to be a huge change there. Okay. Well, if we got any ads, if anyone's got any money left, why don't we go ahead and run them here? Thank you. Okay, next up, let's just get into some general kind of pop culture, what everyone's talking about news. First thing is, the Scotch company Glenlivet have decided to do a Scotch capsule. It's like picture like a Tide Pod filled with Scotch, 3 different flavors, and they're running with it. Now, what I've seen is, number one, a lot of really, really pissed off people because Scotch is not a like shot drink. So this is something that like
Diehard Scotchers.
diehard Scotchers are pissed off.
Yeah. Shut up.
But like, maybe Patron should have done it. Maybe Ciroc. Maybe, maybe there's a vodka Red Bull you can get and pop in your mouth. But whatever. So people are a little bit outraged. I don't know. I can't tell. Is this going to make it? Is this going to survive?
So they're only using this as like a marketing tactic for London Cocktail Week, and it's just for 1 week. Glenlivet's doing it in London.
I want to try one.
This capsule is made out of biodegradable like seaweed, so it just kind of disappears, I guess, when you pop it in.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it too.
I kind of like, if I was on the way out, I'd be like, give me a Casamigos pop. Boom, done.
But what's the
That'd be
beef?
so fun.
Just Scotch drinkers that are purists?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not a shot. It's a sipping. sipifying
The other
Scotch.
beef is Tide Pods are obviously
Sure.
such an issue with children. That
Because
is
it's
this
soft
marketing.
children. Kids.
There's a problem with like adults.
Tide Pods?
Yes.
Adults were.
I mean, it was
Tide Pods?
it was a
Maybe in Wisconsin.
the whole joke thing is they were eating Tide Pods.
Yeah, but kids. Adults weren't eating Tide Pods.
kids
I was
meaning
seeing
20-years-olds,
adults, not
right?
like
That's
grown.
Wisconsin. That's Wisconsin.
This might be Wisconsin.
That's
for
like a
sure
30-year-old just,
Wisconsin,
you know, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
Tide Pod and chill.
It's gonna pop a couple Tide Pods. I think it's sick,
Yeah.
and I would love to have it in all flavors.
Yes.
But I also do think that they're kind of trolling a little. Like I don't I think they're like, oh, wouldn't this be ridiculous and
Yeah.
set the internet on fire?
Yeah,
and
I love it.
whatever.
It's amazing.
I think, unfortunately, I don't
Seems
think
like it's
we'll
good
ever see it.
marketing.
It's working. It's everywhere.
The video's nice.
You just watched it? Nice.
Glenlivet puts out nice content.
Okay. All right. Last but not least,
Mm-hmm.
great news for anyone, for a lot of people, but especially for anyone who's maybe
You're a little creep.
on the gram.
Yeah.
And just doing a little bit of creeping. And that could be like big creeping, like, yo, I got a side piece. I'm trying to show her some love with a couple likes.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just, you're a little bit of a perv and you
Yeah.
like to follow bikini models and give them some likes. Shoot your shot every now and then. Instagram has decided to finally get rid of that stupid little feature where you can see the activity of the people that you're following.
Yes.
So you could click like the little heart or whatever and it would say, Dee Murthy liked this weird girl in a thong.
Yeah.
And Anand Murthy commented, MAGA for life on this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Ben Shapiro's Instagram.
and because I really don't feel like, I think the feature was set up to increase engagement and new discovery and all that stuff. Seems more like it just probably got a lot of people busted for cheating.
Yeah.
But it's gone.
And
Celebrities must love it.
And
That it's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think even, I don't know how accurate this information is, but the head of product at Instagram said nobody even knew that it existed, or most people didn't know. I'll be honest, I, as an avid Instagram user, never checked it ever. Like
I never checked it. You're a real addict if you check that.
Yeah, I don't really care what other people are doing. I'm so self-absorbed. I'm more concerned about my likes, my comments.
Yeah, I agree. Like, how bored are you? How much more of a fix do you need than to see who the people you follow, what they're doing?
Yeah, who
Oh,
cares?
that's interesting. Yeah. What's that? A photo of a beach? Let me go check that out. I didn't know you liked beaches. That's so cool, man. What the fuck? No wonder you have mental health issues, you idiot. Go get a job.
And go quit.
Go quit your job and go like somebody else's pic of their job. Anyway, so that's good. Good news for everyone out there doing a little creeping, or anyone who just doesn't want to be put on blast.
Yeah,
Good shit. We did it, guys.
great.
Catch us at our events. We're event guys now.
Yeah, big event, guys.
You know what I mean? October 12th, Young and Reckless live event. And then October 15th, group chat live event. Group chat will be at both.
Yes.
But man,
RSVPs
we're
are flying in.
yeah, we're gonna see. I wonder what our RSVP list is at. They're
It's beyond capacity right
great.
now.
Keep them coming. But we know, RSVPs don't
Yeah,
usually. They don't all come.
Yeah.
So squeeze in if you still can. To RSVP, you just go to live@group-chat.com. We'll see you there. Hit us up on Instagram @GroupChatPod. Let us know if you got a job, plan on quitting your job, what your mental health level is.
I only need positive mental health people at our live events.
Or maybe if you just know a couple pussies you want to tell us about.
We'll call them out on Friday and call them a pussy.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's anyone that wants to call out for being a pussy on Friday's pod, tag them below. Okay, guys, thank you. Have a good week.